Welcome to Limburg an der Lahn, a hidden gem we can't wait to show you. But just to clear things up, this isn't the Limburg known for the cheese. That one is in the Netherlands. As we wander through its charming, winding alleys, you'll be captivated by the majestic cathedral, the historic palace, and the iconic Lahn Bridge. We'll also take you along to a delicious lunch in a historic half-timbered building right in the heart of the town. The streets here feel like they've stepped out of a fairy tale, offering endless photo opportunities and surprises waiting to be discovered at every turn. Join us as we explore the magic of Limburg an der Lahn.
Okay, welcome to Limburg an der Lahn, and nice little town. We came here from Frankfurt for a day trip, so we're going to explore and see what we can find. There's supposed to be some really nice old half-timber framed houses from the Middle Ages. There's a beautiful cathedral, which you can see right off the highway. And here, we're going to walk around and see what we can see. Right here, I'm in front of the town hall, the Rathaus. Beautiful old building. Looks like it's probably from the, my guess is from the 19th century, but probably about 100 years old, maybe 200 years old. And we're going to walk around and see what we can find here in Limburg. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful but chilly day in January. All right, so this beautiful building is the Limburg Cathedral, which was constructed in the 1200s, and construction only lasted about 40 years, which is unbelievable. And think about it, you know, that many years ago, it only took them 40 years to build this beautiful building. It's just quite a feat. Inside, very beautiful, has some really nice frescoes, some really nice artwork that are from the time that the church was constructed. So again, they're from the 1200s as well. Yeah, it's really cool inside, really, really nice. No cost to go inside. And the interesting thing about this church is, you know, about 22, 23 years ago, we saw it from the highway. You can see it directly from the Autobahn. And we were driving by, we saw this church, we're like, wow, that looks really cool. We didn't know anything about Limburg at the time, and we just drove over here, and we went inside and checked out this beautiful cathedral. So when you're in Limburg, and just a beautiful town, lots of old half-timbered buildings, obviously you're gonna walk up here and check out the beautiful cathedral, the striking coral and white colors, you can't miss it, and it's quite a sight in Limburg. Okay, and this is Schloss Limburg, or Palace Limburg, Castle Limburg, and it is just basically right next door to the cathedral. And this very pretty courtyard you can walk into, very interesting. Also I think from the 13th century, from the 13th to the 16th century, I believe they said, was the construction of this building. And inside there's a museum. We haven't found the entryway to the museum yet. But supposedly, inside the museum, there's the staff of St. Peter, and also a piece of the cross, which is supposed to be the original cross, and I guess was brought here by crusaders from the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. So very interesting, really cool just to walk around, even if you don't go inside. It's really cool to walk around the courtyard here, and there's a nice view of the river valley right down below the Lahn River. So it's really nice. Worth your time, and you're going to be at the cathedral anyway, so you might as well just walk over here. It's just a couple feet to get to the castle here at Limburg. So this is what they call the fish mart, or the fish market here in Limburg. And, you know, you might think the obvious thing is that, okay, they sold fish here, but actually they never sold fish here, so I'm not quite sure why it's called the fish market. But actually, I think they sold wool and thread here, so it's kind of like a textile market, I guess. But maybe fish market sounds better than textile market. I don't know, but it's really pretty, a nice looking restaurant right here. And of course, the half timber frame buildings are absolutely gorgeous. You know, I can't get enough of them. We love going around and visiting old cities like this. So right here, the fish market in Limburg, and we're going to go around, and hopefully one of our next destinations is going to be the oldest freestanding half timber framed house in all of Germany. So this is the House of the Seven Heads, which was built in the 16th century, around 1567, I believe. And if you look, it has seven carved heads on the outside, and those are supposed to represent the seven vices from the Bible. Do you know what those are? I don't know all of them, but I know there's greed, lust, gluttony, avarice. That's a few of them. But yeah, so the House of the Seven Houses and the Seven Vices. So don't do them, you get in trouble. All right, so this building is, they believe, the oldest freestanding half timber house in Germany. And it was built in the late 1200s, around 1289. And it was on the site of an earlier house that was burned down in a fire. And so this was obviously was owned by a very wealthy person. And they believe the original owner was actually Jewish. So very beautiful house, very interesting, you know, and this kind of stuff just really, you know, impresses me. I really never get tired of looking at it. You know, you look at this house, it was built in the 1280s. Unbelievable how old it is. So it's really cool. And it's in a gorgeous setting. I mean, there's like so many of these half-timbered houses around here. So when you're in Limburg, if you're in Frankfurt, take a day trip if you have an extra time. Come to Limburg and look at these beautiful half-timbered houses. Truly, truly amazing. All right, so I'm standing on the Alte Lahn Brücke, or the Old Lahn Bridge over the Lahn River. And this bridge, this stone bridge, was built in the 14th century, so unbelievably old, and it's still supporting traffic. I mean, it just blows my mind that we've got cars and trucks and people still going over this bridge that have been going over this bridge since the 1300s. And the tower, the bridge tower, is also from the 1300s, built at the same time this bridge was built. And this guy right here, this is Saint Nepomuk, the patron saint of bridges. Now, he hasn't really been here too long. They just put him here about, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago or something like that. But he's overlooking the bridge, and we're over the Lahn River. We've got a beautiful view of the cathedral from here as well. So, yeah, when you are in Limburg on der Lahn, you have to come here and walk over this bridge and say, hey, people have been walking over this bridge since the 1300s, and I'm one to add to the list. All right. We're at the Pluta Square here in Limburg. And this interesting looking statue fountain that's not running right now, unfortunately, but this is the Ritter Hartstein fountain, also known as a drunkard's fountain. And this guy, I guess, was a robber baron back in the Middle Ages, and I assume he was known for drinking lots of wine because he's holding up a wine barrel and seems to be drinking it all in. Now, in the summertime, the water's running and it probably looks a lot better, but it's pretty cool. And this is a nice little square full of half-timbered houses, which you find all over the place here in Limburg. Very, very beautiful and very interesting.
After a long day of exploring, we stopped for a late lunch at restaurant Pizzeria La Piccolo Milano, right near the Pluta Square in a charming, historic half-timbered building. To be honest, we were a little too tired and a bit hangry to film our meal. But trust us, it was delicious. We had a bubbling dish of lasagna and a prosciutto pizza straight from their amazing pizza oven, all for just 35 euros, which included 2 beers as well. The atmosphere was cozy and welcoming, the service was quick, and best of all, it was really delicious and reasonably priced. If you're in the area, we absolutely recommend stopping by for a fantastic meal.
All right, so the beautiful square I'm in now, this is called the Corn Markt. And I believe this actually was where they traded grain at back in the Middle Ages. So the name Corn Markt applies here. But just some really beautiful half-timbered buildings. Absolutely gorgeous. And behind me is the coffee rotisserie of Limburg, which is really cool. Unfortunately, it's closed today on Sunday, but normally you can go by there and you can see them roasting the coffee inside the windows. So really beautiful old building, but this square is absolutely beautiful. We've got half-timbered buildings all over the place. The tourist information office is just right this way, just 50 meters that way. So if you need to get some information in Limburg about what to see, you can head right down there, but right off the Corn Markt. To my right, this is the main pedestrian zone for shopping and such. And this is the Bahnhofstrasse, I believe, and it leads right to the train station. So when you come in from town, you can come right down this way and brings you right to the Corn Markt and these beautiful, absolutely gorgeous old timber-framed houses from the Middle Ages. It's fantastic.
Thanks for joining us on our day trip to Limburg an der Lahn. It's such an easy and delightful trip from Frankfurt, and we highly recommend it if you're looking for a charming escape. From the stunning cathedral to the cozy streets and delicious food, there's so much to see and do here. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss one of our adventures. Have you been to Limburg, or is it on your travel list? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, happy travels!